Guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Olympia Soiree. Right? That's what we're playing. It's like, I said that so, like, confidently, and then I was like, shit, was that right? Well, anyway. Yeah, so just continuing Himika's route. So, me? Consider Himika? It never came to mind before, but Cordoba stayed behind to have a bath, so we parted ways, and I took a stroll around the area. Ah, there you are. I'm done with work. What is it? Did I do something bad? Not at all. You just surprised me. But your face is red. Are you feeling ill? I think the bathhouse was a little humid. I'm fine, really. If you say so. I can't look him in the eye now after what Yosuga said. Should we go to the beach again tomorrow? We can look for things there. I won't cry like I did yesterday. Sure, let's go for another walk there. And then I'll be waiting for you around the same time. He spoke with a bright and happy smile before turning around to leave. I feel like it's kind of funny because Yosuga's the one I almost feel like in every route is like, you should think about so-and-so. And we're like, what? Huh? And then we fall for that person. I mean, obviously we're in the route. We know what's going to happen. But it's just funny that Yosuga's always like, you should think of that person. What? Why? That's, huh? Maybe. It's like we kind of just do what Yosuga tells us to. Anyway. Did I just read that? Good God, it's only been like 10 seconds. My brain is not here today, sorry. He spoke with a bright and happy smile before turning around to leave. Consider him. No, Himika himself hasn't even said anything about that. He really is just a friend. And that's how it starts. What? No, that's weird. Oh. Wait. Daifuku, you remember that boy I met before, Himika? Ah, the mysterious one? Do you think he's fit to be my husband? Him? No, I mean, what if, hypothetically, let's just use him as an example. I'm not sure I feel that way about him. Not that I think he's a bad person or anything. It's just, it's been over a week since I started looking for a husband and I haven't found unrealistic expectations. It's been like a whole 5 minutes since I was like, all right, universe, hand me my soulmate, and it didn't. So, like, what the fuck? Is there a backup on the high? What's happening? Lady Olympia. Ah, Chikaya. Master Doma wishes to see you. It is a matter of great urgency. Oh, finally. Doma. Huh? I had a bad feeling about this. I put Daifuku back into his cage, then headed for the parlor. Where is he? Wait. What is this urgent matter? Oh, thank you. Hi. I love you so much. Oh, makes me feel so much better. It's so freaking hot in here now. I was a little chilly, but now I'm totally toasty. How much I love Doma should be a crime, but anyway. Oh no. Oh no! A messenger arrived from the Jade. Their leader's son, Nagusa, has requested an introduction. Nagusa? I take it that you've not yet met him. He will likely make you an offer of marriage. He sounds a little bit too much like Riku right now, but I can't quite get the Doma deepness. Okay. I took a step back in surprise. Yeah, Doma doesn't look like he likes this. He's like, that bitch. Marriage? So suddenly? I've never met the person before and he's coming to propose to me? He has also extended an invitation for you to dine with him. Dine with him? Just a moment. I need more time to... Nearly 2 weeks have passed since your coming of age, yet you've found no suitors. My God, Doma! Jesus! Like Russia girl. He knows all about the situation. I regretted being unable to deny it. I understand that finding a husband is very important, which is why I'm being cautious in making my choice. It was a pretty blatant excuse. Very well. The jade is of the secondary tier. You may find a more suitable match. And just like that, he walked away. See, Doma really does have our back, because for a second he's like, he's gonna come and he wants you to dine with him, and he's probably gonna ask you to marry him. But, I mean, it's been like 2 weeks, girl. I'm just being cautious. And he's like, alright. I feel like he says shit like, God, it's been like 2 weeks, lazy. Just to purposely to needle us so that when he does things like, whatever, you could find someone better, sure. And then just is totally okay with whatever we do. We're like, he's such an asshole. Like, she doesn't realize, like, it's just so funny. It's so funny that you think Doma just sits there and is like, all right, so, great. Nagusa's gonna come and ask her to dinner and probably marry her, and, she's probably not gonna like him, and that guy's a twat anyway. How do I... Alright, I gotta give her this information and then act like this is the best she can do, so that she's like, no! And then I'm like, fine, I guess. Like, he's gonna plan it all out in his head. He's like, it's so exhausting trying to make her hate me. Like... Or he's just very, like, prickly. I don't know, but, like, I love him so much. It's like, Doma, like, you're gonna let us do whatever we want, and, like, you totally have our back on everything, but you are, like, the most unsupportive, supportive person ever. It's the weirdest thing. You are the most supportive person. You're doing everything in your power to get us what we want, like in Riku's route, right? Like, I mean, I think we should just have them get married, like, psh, right? And she's like, God damn it, Doma, what a dick. That's what we want, girl. What do you... But he does it in such a way that it makes her feel like he hates her. I love him so much. I just love it. Oh my god. I don't know what it is about it. Situation is just crazy and I love it. Anyway. And just like that, he walked away. I miss you already, Doma. More suitable match. There he goes, disregarding me again. See? He's totally like, good. Nagusa sucks, so you can find someone better. And she's like, he just disregards what I want. God. Their relationship is great. I love it. I guess it's true that I'm only useful to him as some decorative doll. Oh, girl. With a huge sigh, I returned to my room to rest. I feel like Doma was also like, I don't know how to deal with kids. Doma would be me if someone was like, here's like a 5-year-old, however the fuck old she was. What? You want me to do what now? I got a huh? What the fuck is this shit? Like, I wouldn't know what to do. But Doma's better, because he's like, I will also parent, but also make her hate me. Like, she will think that I am her enemy, but I am actually, her greatest support. Like, but like, God, it's so funny. But her attitude to him really is like a petulant teenager. It's so good. Because she's not like that all the time. She's only like that with Doma. With Doma, it's like, whatever. God. Like, just a whiny fucking teenager. And then the rest of the time, she's totally normal. It's just, it's so funny. God. Funeral flowers? Well, we are dating the Undertaker, so. And once again, that just makes me think how much a Black Butler Otome game would be really fucking awesome. Also a Bungo Stray Dogs one, because everyone in that's hot, so, you know. Those were just like, come on, I mean, shh. Lady Olympia, a moment, please. Oh, is there something you need? Make sure you're on time for the thing tonight. We know how this is gonna go. Doma's Chamberlain hurriedly ran toward me just as I was about to leave the manor. It is regarding tonight's performance. The master asks that you arrive earlier than usual, regardless of the sun's state. Understood. I'll be back before nightfall. If you'll excuse me. Please stay safe. Because that happens in every route, too. That's a little deja vu-y. I wonder how many letters are in here today. With great expectations, I opened the box. None. Huh? Inside was a single envelope. Its recipient immediately caught my attention. It's addressed to Lord Hiroko. Which means I need to take this to Kukurinomiya. Right? I didn't mention any syllables in there, right? Yeah. It's confused. I flipped the envelope over. Huh? This is from Himika? Yesterday. Could you be referring to Miho running from the military, or is it from Miho? Perhaps it was my intuition. An inexplicable feeling of foreboding crept upon me, and I immediately opened the envelope. Girl! Not your job! My body began to tremble, and I almost collapsed on the spot. No! I need to find them! Well, the funny thing is we will repent with death. Well, you're going to be executed, so, like... the execution is worse, because it's not by your choice. It's going to be painful and awful. But then your souls can be used for, not the Shrine Gate, for medical research. So, like... I mean... This is where all of a sudden Shura just comes popping into my brain and is like, I mean, if you're going to die anyway, you should just let us execute you, you know? Like, it might be painful for you, but it could help someone else in the future. I mean, we know that, Cordoba figures out how to cure Haku, so we know it's possible. Well, what Sakio does is not anything helpful, really. He's just kind of an asshole. Anyway, Yosuga! Oh, what's the matter? Are you alright? Please, I need your help. Please help me find Mio and Okijiku. Here, look at this. I gave Yosuga the letter, and after reading it, he quickly moved to action. Camellia, I gather everyone here who isn't attending to guests. Right away! Yosuga took my shaking hands in his. I'll search with my staff, so you go on ahead. We need to find them as soon as possible. I'll send a messenger to Akaza and the others. Thank you. And they can't go to the surface, because she's not going to be able to get past the gate, so... I quickly ran to the plaza with the moon dial and shouted with all my might, although this is funeral flowers, so maybe they die. That's kind of sad. Everyone, I need your help! My voice carried so loudly that everyone in the plaza turned their attention to me. If anyone here knows who Mio or Okijiku are, please find them. Even if you don't know them personally, please help. They're in danger. Mio, you said? Got it. Okijiku, isn't that the guy who ran from the military? Did something happen? I got a letter from Mio and Okijiku. The crowd around me began to murmur. It seemed they could guess what happened. Look for them! Hurry! We need to find them alive! Please, stay safe. Mio! Okijiku! Where are you? It was possible they'd escaped to the surface. I doubt that, but the hastily written letter seemed to reflect their current state, which was very troubling. I don't think they left Yomi. Don't tell me they wrote the letter and... I didn't want to think beyond that. I didn't want my intuition to be right. No, they shouldn't... Mio! Okijiku! Where are you? Please, don't be rash! I yelled out as I ran through the streets. Please don't die. Don't die! Mio! Okijiku! Don't die, please! My teary voice echoed through the air when... Someone! Anyone! They're dead bodies! That voice... Kaina? Someone, come quick! Kaina, what is it? There are 2 dead bodies along the canal. Kaina quickly held me back as I made a dash for the canal. Oh, this is sad. They don't have sprites, but it's still sad. Don't go. You shouldn't see something like that. This is no time for that. Let me go. Hey, we found them. Mio and Okijiku, they've poisoned themselves. Finally, I fell to my knees. They're dead? They poisoned themselves? They really died? No, it can't be. No. They went out on their own terms instead of being executed. Like, sure, if they were executed for their crimes, their bodies could have been used, or their show could have been used for medical research. But at the same time, like, that's like torturous just for that, and they shouldn't have had to die for just being in love with each other. And they were like, fuck you, you're not gonna execute us, we're going out on our own terms then. And like, it's sad though. They shouldn't have been in this situation. They shouldn't have been forced to be put in this situation. They shouldn't have been forced into this corner because of the stupid system. Mean, anyway. No. It can't be. No. My fist pounded the hard ground beneath me with an anger that had nowhere else to go. Olympia, you knew them? I shook my head. I didn't know them personally, but I wanted them to live. Could it be they were like me? Kaina rubbed the mark on his cheek. It was a soldier from the blue and a woman from Yomi. Kaina cleared his throat and leaned against the wall beside him. I see. So they were both able to die together. Oh, now Kaina's feeling sad and depressed, and we gotta put him on watch. Kaina! I glared at him, but Kaina still had a smile on his face. We thought about doing the same thing, too. The words made my fingers shake violently. A cold, bitter feeling came over me, and I felt as though I was going to vomit. It's not surprising they did that. After all, what use is living if there's no future? I'm so sad. Kaina. People began to gather along the road. I still didn't have the strength to stand. Olympia, have you heard of something called Tamasogi? No? It's the worst punishment on Tengu Island, where Batsu is used on the living. I don't think anyone can imagine how painful that would be. I mean, no one would ever want to go through that. No one would ever want to see their love go through that, right? Well, I did. Kaina... Hey, someone call the Undertaker! If not, we'll all be contaminated! Huh? Suddenly I heard a familiar, calm voice. I'm here. Himika. Thank God, I beg you! The corpse bearers are already here! Himika nodded and turned on his heel. He didn't say a word to me. Wait! Where are you going? Aren't you going to turn them into show? Those who take their own lives are mourned differently. Different? As I sat there in confusion, a number of burly-looking men walked past me. Without a word, they simply wrapped the two bodies in thick cloth and lifted them up in their arms, as if they were carrying some kind of luggage. What do you mean, mourned differently? And cremated and returned to the ocean. The ocean? The sound of waves echoed in my mind. Waves from the dazzling blue ocean. Can I go with you? Himika blinked slowly. I know I won't be of any help, but I'd like to at least offer them a prayer. Olympia, are you sure you can do that? You have an important role, don't you? Those who commit suicide are tainted. I still want to go. Nothing would change my mind. Sensing my resolve, Kaina slowly backed off. Understood, if that's what you wish. I must prepare for the ritual, so meet me at the wharf in an hour from now. An hour from now, not in an hour from now. Oh, I can't read. I gave a small nod and Himika left. Olympia, I'm sorry for what I said earlier. I can't leave this place, so would you pay the two of them my respects? I will. I stood up, wiping away the tears from my eyes. Idiots! You underestimated me because I'm a woman! Even though she was being chased, she was so full of life back then. I wanted to believe that they'd be able to make their escape. I was desperate to believe it. They didn't make it after all. They ended their own lives themselves. You're here. Let's go. Before I knew it, Himika was standing in front of me with his usual expression. an expression that showed no sorrow or anger. It's a long way to the beach. I'll hail a carriage. He stopped one coming our way and spoke to the driver. To the beach up north. Huh? The beach up north? That must mean you're the new Undertaker. Don't tell me Lady Olympia is going with you. Me? What does he mean by that? He should mind his own business. Yes, I'll be going with him. Come on, you can't! I'll be a goner if people find out I took you there, Lady Olympia. Huh? He looked really frightened and upset. Will this be enough? I offered him all the money I had on me, but he quickly pushed my hand away. This ain't about the money. That place is the most defiled, deadliest place on the island. Isn't it the same beach where Himika lives? Could it really be that scary? Please, I beg you. Absolutely not. Please give up already. If you go there, you'll be defiled too and end up dead, Lady Olympia. I'm healthy, so I'll be fine. You're not getting on. I'm gonna leave. And please. Himika gently placed a hand on the coachman's seat. If anything happens, I'll assume all blame. Is it that big of a deal? I felt sorry for the driver, but with what happened to Mio and Okichiku, I couldn't back down. Please, I'll make sure that you're not blamed for any of this. I bowed deeply to the coachman. Please stop! Don't bow to me like that! Fine, I give up! Just hurry and get on before anyone sees you! Thank you! Himika didn't say a word as the carriage started off. This makes me curious. Of course, trying to strike a friendly conversation with him now was close to impossible. But the silence was so heavy that I simply had to say something. Himika, have you met Lord Hiroko before? I was surprised by the question myself. To be honest, I doubted he would say yes. I was just trying to cling to some kind of hope. Why are you asking so suddenly? Are you Lord Hiroko? Like, have you met him? Maybe. Are you him? Here. After reading their final letter, Himika quickly turned his face away. I'm sorry, I know it's not something that a person would want to read. Where did you get that from? It was in the letterbox. I see. Himika picked up the letter and stared at it. I have met Hiroko before, so I'll give him this letter. Huh? You've met him before? So Lord Hiroko really does exist? Now that makes me wonder. Or is it a skull? Is that the skull that he's carrying around? I quickly shut my mouth after I said it. Can you pretend you didn't hear that? He exists. He carefully folded the letter and put it inside his pocket. But he doesn't live in Kokurinomiya. Kokurinomiya. Yeah, okay, that's right. Anymore. He doesn't? Wait, does that mean the voice Doma hears there is a lie? That's right. You're under his custody. Himika looked out the window with a strange and nostalgic look in his eyes. It isn't a lie that the leaders of the Yellow could hear Hiroko's voice. It's just that he isn't there anymore. I was at a loss for words at the completely unexpected turn of events. So Lord Hiroko doesn't reside there anymore? So then, where is he? Well, I think he's wandering around the island somewhere. Wandering... So where did you meet him, Himika? Is it a casa? Look, I'm just so curious now! Is it Tsukiyomi? I met him at Kokurinomiya. Kokurinomiya, yeah. God, I don't know why in my brain. Like, when I was assigned to the role of Undertaker. I never knew you had to do that. Himika nodded, gently rubbing the skull next to him. Hypothetically, what would you want to say to Hiroko if you met him? Huh? He smiled quietly at me. Okay, either the skull is Lord Hiroko, or Himika is. I don't know. It seems very suspicious. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell what that smile meant. Or it could be Tsukiyomi. I felt a chill in my stomach, seeing him look at me with eyes devoid of hope. What would I want to say? I'd want to know if Lord Hiroko created the color class system. Well, who knows? My teacher never told me about it, and neither has Doma. I thought maybe it was just common knowledge. Do you hate the colors? I wasn't sure what to say. It wasn't that I was completely against them. I think about it a lot, I feel like, because she's like, I'm not against them, but like, I do, is straightforward, and she's like, I don't hate them. You know what I mean? She just said she didn't, so I feel like I think about it a lot. Yeah. Okay. I think about it a lot. I'm sure the system was made for some reason, so it can't be all bad, can it? But these two decided to choose this horrible fate because of the color class system. If so, maybe they could have found happiness otherwise, if it didn't exist. Or maybe they might not have. Maybe they might not have, after all. Also, then you have to think of, like, Asawa, and you're like, and then telling him that he's ugly and tainted and gross when he's beautiful and he's like a rainbow. Oh, we're almost there. Himiko? I was hoping to hear more from him. I wanted to know what his thoughts were on them. I'm just very curious, like, he knows, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? But I guess I'm just being selfish. But then, like, if he was Lord Hiriko, why would he also be the Undertaker? It doesn't make any sense. But then maybe it's the skull, but maybe it's Tsukuyomi. Like, we're here. No need to pay the fare. Please let me go. And please don't tell anyone I brought you here. Thank you for your help, but please take this. I handed him a few bills as we disembarked. I'll leave it here in the back. Hey, is this the beach where we killed Yasuka in that bad ending? Like, is that what it looks like? There was an awfully unusual smell in the air, and I couldn't help but cover my nose. Is that his little house right there? It smelled like something burning combined with sweet incense and the smell of the ocean. The smells all blended together and seemed to completely enshroud me. The smell... There. Himiko pointed to what looked like some kind of altar made of stone. Although it was still daytime, the flames roared, sending billowing black smoke into the sky. Maybe that's where the people are being cremated, and that's why it smells terrible. The corpse bearers brought them here. That's why it smells terrible. It's burning people. Those who commit suicide do not become sho. We burn their remains and scatter the ashes over the sea. What? We already got told this? Those are the rules. Speaking quietly, Himiko began to pick the flowers blooming next to him. Himiko? I'm going to make a flower wreath. He picked red, blue, and yellow flowers, all vibrant and full of life. Seeing him weave them together so carefully and gently eased my sorrow a little. Is that for them? Yes. Do you mind if I help? A slight breath escaped his lips, though I couldn't tell if it was admiration or annoyance. You aren't afraid of being near death. No, I'm not afraid at all. And then if you could weave a wreath for them. I nodded and began picking the yellow flowers. Next, I wove in the blue flowers, then the red. You're very good at making wreaths. Thank you. I used to make them a lot back when I lived on Tenyo Island. That's right. A slight nostalgic look in his eyes made me feel a bit strange. See? Like, there's certain things about the way he acts, too, like the nostalgic look in his eyes is like, are you Lord Hiriko? Or like, have you been to Tenyo? What is going on with you? Oh, wait, are you Tsukuyomi? We haven't seen you and Tsukuyomi in the same place at the same time. Like you know, well, there's some kind of, no matter how many guesses I make, I'm not going to hit on whatever Himiko's hiding. You know what I mean? So, Himiko, by any chance, have you ever been to Tenyo Island before? Huh? He stared at me with a bewildered expression. I'm sorry, that was a strange thing to ask. You know, like, knowing that Kurobo was actually born of the yellow. You were like, oh, what? Like, shit. Like, I never would have seen that one coming. So, like, whatever Himiko's hiding, I'm never going to be able to guess it. I've never been there. I really, really wanted to, but the whirlpools didn't let me through. Whirlpools? That's right. I haven't gone back for a long time myself. I gazed out into the ocean. I can't see the island from here. I think we're about ready. Let's get going. Himika must be accustomed to rowing boats. He set the boat out onto the waves with ease. As he rowed, I looked at the blue skies and the blue sea with the flower wreath on my lap. I think this should do. Himika stopped rowing, then took something out from his pocket. It was their ashes wrapped in paper. Oh. Oh my god, look how beautiful he is in his fucking CGs. Don't mind her strange puppet face over in the corner there, but like, good god. Okay, like, again, Himika's like slightly a lolly boy, right? He's got the but there's something so beautiful about his face that it doesn't bother me as much. And yet then you have these CGs and you're like, no. I could be sold on Himika. Like, I'm not even kidding. He could be like the one freaking lolly boy that like slips through the radar and is like, I don't care, I love you. But I also just like, you're like delicate sweet boy. Like, I don't know about the romancy aspect, but like, it doesn't weird me out as much as like Tokisada. Although Tokisada's CGs were also beautiful. You know, they made him look like a beautiful young man, not 12-year-old boy like he did in his sprite. So again, I wish Tokisada looked like his CGs versus, you know what I mean, in his sprite? You know what I mean? Like, they did that, but like, good fucking god. I kind of also want Himika to look like this in his sprite, but his sprite doesn't bother me as much, but, like, good lord. He is beautiful, and, like, does slightly make you question your sexuality a little. You're like, are you a beautiful girl, though? You know what I mean? Like, he has such feminine features. It's ridiculous. I dig it, though. That's a beautiful CG. All of the CGs, I feel like, in this, for the most part, have been beautiful. I feel like Kuroba got the short end of the stick. Like, I don't think he had as many beautiful CGs as he could have had. They just didn't feel the same way to me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I felt slightly disappointed with his. Like, they were good, but it was like, but you could have done better by poor Kuroba. Anyway. The ashes were white. Nothing about it looked filthy to me. Himika sprinkled the ashes into the sea. They gently melted away in the water. Mio. That was it. She was running around Yomi just a few days ago. The end was so simple that I felt like those two could still be alive somewhere in Yomi. Himika then took out a blue cloth. Oh, Himika, what's that handkerchief for? It's her handkerchief. I snuck into her house to retrieve it. But I wasn't able to sneak into the military dormitories. The wind blew. Himika let go of the handkerchief, sending it into the air. But you know what? I bet what's-his-name gave it to her. I'm sure they realized they were soulmates. And they can no longer return to heaven, but their souls can sleep peacefully in this great ocean. And this time, they can be together forever. I see. The handkerchief fluttered away on the wind. Suddenly, tears began to flow from my eyes. Oh yeah, she really is crying in the back there. Himika's just too goddamn beautiful, Jesus. Once, a man and a woman with their wrists tied together drifted ashore. I suppose they didn't want to part. Himika gazed out at the horizon. Was he looking at the handkerchief, or what lay beyond the ocean? They weren't from this island, but I cremated their ashes just the same. So many things wash up onto the island. The old and the new, the hideous and the beautiful, the living and the dead. All I can do is send them off this way. I can only pray that they'll finally find happiness together at last. My heart ached as I looked at his calm composure and heard his bold voice. I didn't make it in time. I wanted to save her. I never expected her to die. I couldn't do anything. And that's not true. You wove that wreath for them. Himika smiled. His smile softly embraced my heart, and more tears welled up in my eyes. You prayed for them both, and now you're shedding tears for them. I'm usually alone here, so they must be glad to have your company. Don't worry, they'll be at peace now, thanks to you. Now, if you'll please deliver their wreath. I set the flower wreath onto the surface of the water. My tears continued down my cheeks endlessly. This was a normal day for him. A day where he held his skull and was shunned as the Undertaker. Are you always alone out here? No one wants to be near the stain of death. Yes, and no one wants to go near the unclean. Everyone despises filth and the hideous and the things that frighten us. Everyone, including gods. Himuka? It can't be helped. Everyone hates those who are different from them. Being hideous means that they're all different from everyone else. You wouldn't enjoy going near something that's hideous, would you? I couldn't answer immediately. Like he said, people shunned hideous things. Yes, like me. Look how white she is. She's so creepy. I guess that's the MVP of this route. Okay. Wasn't sure which way I was going to go, but it seems to be that one. It's been a while. Mostly it's always the Doma one, but this one's now making a comeback. I guess it's true that people are frightened by things that are hideous. I actually tried to run away from Doma's manor when I was 10 years old. I thought I could go back to Tenyo Island if I managed to escape to the beach. The people of the island saw me, a girl of the white, and were frightened by me. Huh? I bet there were some who had never seen a person of the white before. I'll never forget the look of fear in their eyes. So I guess I was hideous and fearsome to them too back then. But you're not. But I'm proud to be the lone survivor. I won't run away from anyone anymore, even if they're afraid of me. Himuka held his breath and stared at me. Every time I go down to Yomi, a thought comes to mind. Really? She won't yell at me if I talk to her? Lord Kuroba said it earlier, but failures like me are not allowed to live on the surface. Some people on the surface say that the colors in Yomi are hideous or unsightly, but I don't think they're hideous at all. Maybe it's because I was born and raised on Tenyo Island. If someone thinks something is hideous, that's only their opinion. But I've never thought anyone was hideous just because they were different. Himuka's eyes opened wide and he moved back a little. I guess I got carried away just now. Did I even answer her question? Yes. You really are beautiful. Huh? Himuka's sincere eyes pierced through me and I felt my neck heating up. It was an unfamiliar feeling, but not unpleasant, and my heart raced in my chest, literally how it feels if someone tells you you're beautiful. You're like, huh, this is, what? Weird. Strange feeling. For me, it doesn't matter. Like, 10 people in a row could do, you're like, hey, what? Doesn't matter how good you feel about yourself. You're always like, I feel good, but the rest of the world hates me. Like, you know, like, it's actually kind of funny because I've had people, you need to have more confidence in yourself. I'm confident in myself. I'm just not confident that other people can just see how awesome I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there is a difference to being like, I love me most of the time. There are times where you can't love yourself all the time. Sometimes you're like, I suck. Okay? Like, we all have those moments. But, like, for the most part, I'm like, no, I feel good. Or, okay, I like what I'm doing. I like how I look today. Or, I feel good today. And blah, blah, blah. But I just don't think other people see it. I just feel like it's just me. Because, like, I'm what matters. If I feel like shit, 20 million people could be like, oh my God, no, you're gorgeous. You're perfect. You're wonderful. And I'd be like, you're all blind as shit. It's not going to change my opinion of myself. You know what I mean? If I feel good about myself, people would be like, oh my God, you shouldn't be wearing that. It's like, you're stupid. I look awesome. Like, because it's your opinion of yourself is what matters. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think. It's nice when people compliment you, but if people insult you, you know logically you're like, well, screw you, you're wrong. I'm awesome. Like, I look good. Like, whatever. So your self-confidence and your self-worth should be based on how you feel about yourself. So it's like, I'm good at that. Like, I can manage some days I cannot manage myself, but like, I've gotten better as I've gotten older at being like, I feel good about me, or like, whatever. You know what? I may feel shit like right now, but like, you know, whatever. But I just don't think other people see. So then you have your like, I look awesome today. I am like fucking gorgeous. I'm like a unicorn. And someone's like, wow, you look really pretty. And you're like, what? Oh my God, that's awkward and weird. Like this exact situation. It's an unfamiliar feeling. Like, it's fucking hilarious. This is very relatable is all I'm saying. Anyway. I looked out to sea and saw that the crown of flowers had already disappeared onto the waves. Himika, do you think that the flower wreath made it to them? It did. I'm sure he's admiring the sight of it on her head. I was sure if anyone else said that, they'd be laughed at. But hearing it from him brought forth a vivid image of the two of them in my mind. Are they mermaids now? Suddenly I remembered. I don't like the ocean. Because that's where dead people are. Himika, you said you don't like the ocean. Is it because of what you do out here? He then stared at the shoreline. That too, but long ago, I wandered this ocean on a boat for a very long time. Like Lord Hiroko did? Was he on a boat for a very long time? I don't know. I don't really remember the story, but I'm just saying. Which is why being out in the ocean reminds me of how lonely I was. A long time? Was he shipwrecked or something? But now, I'm not lonely anymore because I have you beside me. I began to blush. It wasn't the first time Himika smiled at me, but this time I felt a nervous fluttering in my chest. I would laugh my ass off if this game tried to fucking, like, do all these crazy twists, like, Himika's Lord Hiroko, Doma's your dad. Tsukuyomi is the puppet master of this weird science experiment that is there. Oh, but we're all also kind of dead. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen, but I just have a feeling that all of the shit is going to, at the very end, is going to be the weirdest fucking shit ever, and it's just going to keep getting weirder. It's going to be like, actually, we are on an alien spaceship somewhere, and we're all dead. But, I don't know. Like, it's just going to get weirder and weirder, and it's going to be like, yeah, okay, sure. I'm just gonna buy all of it. Like, I mean, I don't care. I kind of hope it gets fucking crazy. I want it to kind of go off the rails. I mean, I'm pretty sure Doma's our dad. But I would laugh my ass off if Himika was Lord Hiroko. Or the skull is. I want to know who that skull is. Why does he have it? Who is it? Who's the captain? You know, like, I'm curious. Or like, Himika's like, well, this was Lord Hiroko, but I'm also Lord Hiroko. I was just reborn. Like, in a different body? That's why I carry my own skull around. What? And Tsukuyomi is the puppet master of this fucking freak show. I don't know. Like, I kind of just want the weirdest shit to happen. I feel like it's gonna get weird. Then, I mean, this world is a clusterfuck of bullshit. But I kind of want what it is to just be fucking weird. Like, actually, it's aliens. I don't think we have enough alien ones. Like, where are the aliens? Come on. Anyway. It wasn't the first time Himika smiled at me, but this time I felt a nervous fluttering in my chest. I feel like we read that, but I don't know. I like the ocean when you're around. Really? What is going on with me? We should head back to the shore soon. Right. Himika reached out for the oars when... Suddenly a large wave struck and rocked the boat. The force lifted me up out of my seat and... Did we fall in? Watch out! Oh, we're in a pile. I was like, there are limbs and I don't know what's happening. Oh, Himika. Is Himika wearing an extremely short skirt? Like, I figured his cape and everything was long, but like, I mean, we can see our thigh, but I think you can see Himika's. It's like, Himiko, what's your outfit look? I'm gonna need a full body. I need to see what your outfit looks like now, because I feel like you've got, like, thigh-high socks on over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like a... Don't we have our arms around his back? And, like, that's his thigh, right? Like, what's going on? Are you wearing, like, a mini dress? Because I'm down with that. Like, I'm... Or, you know, whatever robe thing I've just bunched up, but we got some thigh going on, which I just didn't expect. Like, and then he's got his pretty girl eyes. Like, this is very confusing. Like, I'm very confused with Himika, because he definitely looks very, very feminine in his CGs, which is like, I'm very confused, but I like it. And then you go back to, like, his sweet, adorable little, like, sprite, and you're like, normally that would turn me off, but, like, I'm just really enjoying his I'm very confused. I don't know what's going on anymore. Am I on drugs? Maybe. Anyway. But, yeah. Hi. Well, it's getting steamy in here. Are you alright? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? I'm fine. Lightly. His gray hair caressed my cheek. His slender body cradled me tightly. What should I do? I can't get myself out. Himika looked at me with concern. It seemed I was the only one embarrassed. Himika, I'm fine, really. Huh? The strength in his arms relaxed. I breathed a sigh of relief. Soft. Warm. Ooh. His cold fingers gently touched my cheek, and I held my breath. Your hair has such a nice scent. Your lips are like cherries. It's so sweet. You didn't think Himika was going to get this frisky with us, did you? I was not expecting him to... You're a little bold, aren't you? What is happening? Himika's fingers slowly slid from my cheek and down my neck. I don't even think Yosuga or Kuroba got this cheeky with us this fast, and they're a little bit of whores. I mean, I expected it from either one of them, but no. I'm not complaining. A sensation I had never felt before ran through me suddenly. I was so embarrassed that I wanted to escape, but I couldn't bring myself to move away. Your skin is really hot. As his fingers traced my skin affectionately, a short, quiet breath escaped me. I never knew until now. You're so soft. Your cheeks are so very hot, aren't they? The moment his gentle, curious fingers touched my earlobe, I felt a terrible, sweet tingle deep inside my body. Oh. Himika? I quickly wriggled free from his arms. Huh? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What have I done? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me. Himika, calm down. I'm sorry. You really do hate me now, right? I'm so hideous. Himika shrank back as if frightened and bowed his head to me again and again. It's kind of funny because, like, he's always like, I'm shy and awkward and I'm hideous, and all of a sudden he's like, you're so soft and delicate. And he was just like, and you're like, Himika? And he's like, oh god. Like, Himiko, a whole other side of you just came out. We're going, I didn't expect a little sex panther over there. Like, I'm not expecting that shit. Like, it's all right. I was just surprised. Really? You don't hate me? I don't hate you at all. Himika's eyes finally welled up with tears as he realized the extent of his regret. You said you weren't gonna cry at the beach. Oh, right, we didn't go for a walk today. Never mind. Tomorrow. I'm sorry. I'll get us back to shore. All right? The boat began to move again. Himika didn't say one word as we headed back to the sandy beach. He didn't even look at me. Back on shore, well, I need to get going. Himika jumped off the boat, and before I could say anything, he quickly ran away. What in the world? Well, it really was surprising and all, but I touched my cheek as I stood alone on the beach. Thanks for abandoning me here, bro! What am I doing? The fingers touching my cheek now were obviously not his, but I was reminded of the bittersweet sensation that made me momentarily forget myself. This has been a part, hasn't it? Nothing. I returned to Yomi to check on the letterbox. I gave that letter from before to Himika. It should be fine. There isn't anything illegal about it now. I'll just tell Akaza about it later. Oh, welcome back. The main hall of Shikinjo was the same as usual. Well, yeah, because it's people from upstairs. Well, upstairs. People from the surface. They don't give a shit about the rest of the poor people that died. I could hear laughter and a lively merriment around me. Also, if you don't know the people, you know what I mean? It's not, so. It's been a busy day. Why not take a rest for now? Kurdoba's here, too. Thank you. Yeah, I heard. Well, good work. I went to the beach to the north. Did you really? Not many do. I've only been a few times myself. Yeah, we went one time when we had to kill Yasuga. He's like, what? Nothing? That was a different reality. I think they were given a proper send-off. Red flowers, blue flowers, yellow flowers. I hope the waves did carry the wreath to them. Now they're mere people. Yay! And under the sea, they don't care what color traits you have. Mer people are just mer people, and they're just happy. It wasn't your fault. I can't tell you to just forget about it, but don't let it bog you down. It's fine. I'm alright now. I knew I would still have this lingering feeling of heaviness for a while. But crying wasn't going to do me any good. Sometimes it does do you good, though. That's right. I know this is an odd time to bring it up, but do either of you know who Nagusa of the Jade is? I received an invitation yesterday from him. You should refuse. It'll be to discuss marriage. Does he have a bad personality or something? No. In fact, he has a reputation for being a wonderful person, tall and with a handsome face. Although he is 23 years old, he's not yet entered into marriage because of his diligence in studying to become the next leader. He sounds like a good match to me. Don't do it! Don't do it! You know a guy like that's gotta be two-faced. Don't do it! Don't do it! Kuroba's like, no! He's a really popular guy, you know. He probably already has a few lovers in secret. Are you talking about yourself? I have to agree with Kuroba. His perfection is suspicious. I would not trust him. I've never thought of it that way before. I mean, I trust their judgment. I mean, we also know Nagusa is a fucking rapey bastard. And, like, all the shit he did to us in Kuroba's route. The fact that Kuroba stabbed us just to keep Nagusa from touching us. You know, I mean, you could look at it that way, like, oh my god, Kuroba, you're a psycho, you stabbed me. No, Kuroba was saving us from Nagusa. So, like, Kuroba did us a favor. That wasn't even the same. That's not even, like, Saint Germain trying to be like, I'm gonna kill you because of my religious bullshittery. And you're like, and then he's like, wait, do I want to? Or, like, frickin' Yang doing it, like, I'm just gonna kill you because I'm an asshole. Like, no, Kuroba was like, I'm gonna save you from an asshole. So it's totally different. Still did not expect that from him, but, you know, I approve of it, because it kind of just, if Yasuga was the one that had stabbed you, you'd be like, yep, kind of, sort of, almost expected him to be that one. So, when he took us to Tenyo Island and then was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and then you better kill me, and it's like, don't. No, Yasuga, what? I kind of expected this, though. Like, not unsurprised, really. I don't like it, but, like, I'm not surprised. But, like, Cordoba pounded up on you and just being like, now you're gonna die so that Nagusa can't touch you. It's like, yeah, no, but it just never even considered that as an option. Thanks. That was a nice curveball game. Got a black eye from it. Thanks. Just came out of nowhere and hit me in the face. Anyway, I never thought of it that way before. If you're gonna marry Nagusa, might as well just make it official with me. It'll be simpler. No, thank you.
And then how about Akaza? The Jade will have no choice but to back down from the red.
Back down? Is that because the red color class is on a higher tier?
Of course.
Then no thanks to that, too. This is no time to be picky. The year will pass behind a flash. Cordoba's like, it's no time to be picky, just marry someone. This is every time to be picky. I know that, but it's been 2 weeks. The year will pass by in a flash. It's been like 2 fucking years that we've been stuck in quarantine, if you think about it. And it's like, fuck. What? So, it's fine. Just choose Akaza. I know I'm his friend and all, but he really is an impeccable guy. I do trust and respect him as a person, but no, thank you.
If you continue on without direction, you may wander into a trap. You should try to search with more purpose.
I understand. I knew they cared about me in their own way. My number 1 priority should be finding a husband. How about Himika? You two seem close. Huh? I realized my reaction too late. They're like, what? What? No, that's crazy. What? Himika? What? No, I mean, what? Why? Maybe you think? I don't know. I don't think about him that way, do I? Maybe a little bit. But like, no, what? No? Himika? Kuroba and Yosuga were looking at me with great interest.
Hear that, Kuroba? It seems things have been progressing in a clandestine fashion. And this is finally getting interesting.
Yeah, it's great. We want you to end up with a guy you actually like. What? Stop teasing me. Please don't tell Himika. Hold on. Yeah. That's great. I love that. Himika will never talk to us again. But please don't tell Himika. The two looked at each other and nodded with satisfaction. Ah, the purity of a maiden.
Seems we were worried for nothing.
I'm leaving! I quickly grabbed my cap and made a run for it, trying to hide the rising heat in my cheeks. This is fucking great. I love it so much. We're a little under time, but since we're, like, here, we might as well stop here, because I don't know. Because, like, sometimes you think, like, oh, this will just be a quick little segment of, like, 5 seconds, or, like, a minute or two, and then it's, like, 20 minutes later, and you're like, we're still talking to Camellia, so it'll be, like, 2 minutes, because I'm stopping, so. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.